Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me right now. The most important relationship you will ever have in your life is the one you have with yourself. Everything you want, whether it's success, fulfillment, love, wealth, strength, begins with one thing: you deciding that you are worth the fight, worth the effort, worth the breakthrough. Most people live their lives on autopilot, moving through the motions without ever asking themselves a single, life-changing question. Who do I want to be? They let circumstances, other people's opinions, and their own fears dictate the course of their lives. But I want you to stop for a moment and really think about it. If you could decide who you wanted to be, what would that person look like? What would that person think, feel, and do every single day? The quality of your life begins with the quality of that decision. Everything starts here. Everything. Because until you decide who you want to become, you will continue drifting, reacting, hoping, and waiting for something outside of yourself to change. And it won't. Change doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by wishful thinking. It happens because you raise your standards. Raising your standards is not about saying you want something more. It's about saying enough is enough. It's about recognizing that what you have been settling for, what you've been accepting, is no longer acceptable to you, and that is not arrogance, that is clarity, that is responsibility, that is power. When you raise your standards, you are making a statement to yourself and to the world that mediocrity is no longer an option, that you are willing to do whatever it takes to stretch yourself beyond comfort, to confront fear, and to step into a life that is larger than you ever imagined. But raising standards is only the beginning. The decision of who you want to be is the compass that guides every choice, every habit, every relationship, and every action in your life. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy. Those are outcomes. Outcomes are the effect. The cause is who you decide to become, the person you choose to embody, and that decision is incredibly powerful because it gives you control over your destiny in a way that external circumstances never can. When you know who you want to be, the way forward becomes crystal clear. You stop asking, what if, and start asking how. You stop waiting for permission and start taking responsibility. You stop making excuses and start producing results. Every day, you are making choices consciously or unconsciously that either move you closer to that person you want to be or further away. And here's the hard truth. The difference between the life you have now and the life you dream of is rarely the world itself. It's rarely luck. It's rarely talent. It's the standards you have chosen to live by and the decisions you make to enforce them consistently. The decision to show up with integrity, to push through fear, to refuse to settle, to demand excellence of yourself. That is what separates extraordinary lives from ordinary ones. But this is not a one-time event. Raising your standards is not like flipping a switch and magically becoming someone new. It is a daily commitment. It is a series of small decisions repeated over and over until they compound into the life you desire. It is in the choices you make when no one is watching, when everything feels hard, when failure tempts you to quit. That is where true transformation happens. That is where the person you want to be is forged not in comfort, not in easy victories, but in the relentless pursuit of better. And here is the beautiful paradox. The moment you raise your standards and truly decide who you want to be, you unleash a force inside yourself that nothing and no one can stop. Fear loses its power, doubt becomes fuel, and setbacks become lessons. You begin to magnetize opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your new level of expectation. The world starts responding to the new version of you, because energy flows where attention goes. The person you become determines the results you get, the experiences you attract, and ultimately the life you live. So I want you to take this moment seriously. Stop settling. Stop compromising. Stop letting yesterday's limits define today's possibilities. Decide right now, with absolute certainty, who you want to be. Demand more of yourself. Commit to standards that scare you a little, stretch you a lot, and elevate your life in ways you cannot yet imagine. When you do that, you don't just improve, you transform. And everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever dreamed of, begins to flow toward you because you have chosen to become someone worthy of it. Raise your standards, decide who you want to be, and then show up every day to live that decision, because your life is waiting for nothing less. Most people go through life unaware that the only thing standing between them and their dreams is the story they keep telling themselves. Every fear, every doubt, every hesitation begins in the mind. It begins in the beliefs that you hold. Some you inherited, some you picked up without realizing, and some you created yourself. These beliefs are powerful. They shape how you think, how you feel, and ultimately what you do. And here's the key: the beliefs that limit you are not facts. They are assumptions, habits of thought that can be challenged, changed, and replaced. If you want to step into your true potential, you must begin by examining your inner psychology. You must look at the beliefs that are running your life and ask yourself, are these beliefs serving me, or are they holding me back? Most people answer this question unconsciously. They live with beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve success, or I can't do this. And they act as if these statements are laws of nature. They are not. They are simply programs, patterns of thought that can be rewritten. And the moment you recognize that, the game changes forever. Breaking limiting beliefs requires awareness and courage. You must be willing to see them for what they are and confront them directly. You cannot shrink from this work. You must say, I refuse to let this belief dictate my life anymore. And once you make that declaration, you start the process of transformation. You start challenging each limiting thought with questions like, is this true? How do I know? What evidence do I have that contradicts this? And as you challenge your beliefs, you begin to dismantle the mental barriers that have been holding you captive. But awareness alone is not enough. Beliefs are reinforced by emotion and habit. You must replace the old limiting belief with a new empowering belief, one that aligns with the person you want to become. This is not wishful thinking. This is programming yourself for success. If you truly believe that you are capable, that you are deserving, that you can take action and create results, your behavior will change automatically. You will take steps you never thought possible. You will persist when others quit. You will see opportunities where others see obstacles. And here's something most people miss. Transformation is not about eliminating fear or doubt. Those emotions are natural. The difference is in how you respond to them. You don't fight fear, you use it. You don't wait for confidence, you create it through action. Your psychology shapes your experience, but your experience can also shape your psychology. Every small victory, every step you take despite fear, every risk you take despite doubt, rewires your mind and strengthens your new beliefs. You begin to internalize the truth that you are far more capable than you've ever given yourself credit for. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who were born with talent or luck. They are the ones who mastered their inner world. They understood that thoughts drive feelings, feelings drive actions, and actions create results. They learned to question the stories they were telling themselves, to confront the limiting beliefs, and to replace them with empowering truths. And when they did, they unlocked a level of potential that ordinary thinking could never reach. So I want you to commit today. Look at the beliefs that have been holding you back. Call them out, face them, and decide that they no longer control you. Replace them with beliefs that inspire, that motivate, that drive action. Reinforce them daily through words, through practice, through the decisions you make, and watch as your life begins to shift in ways that feel impossible at first, but inevitable over time. Remember, your mind is the ultimate tool you will ever possess. Master it, shape it, transform it, and you will transform everything else in your life. There is no obstacle outside that is greater than the limitations you place inside. Break those chains, unleash your mind, and step into the greatness you were always meant to claim. So many people spend their lives dreaming, planning, and waiting for the perfect moment. But let me tell you something, the perfect moment does not exist. Action is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Without action, vision is meaningless. Without movement, strategy is useless. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is not talent, not luck, not timing. It's massive, consistent action. It's the relentless pursuit of your goals day after day in every way possible. The moment you commit to action, the moment you decide that you will no longer wait, you ignite a force inside yourself that nothing and no one can stop. Action creates momentum, action breaks fear, action builds confidence, and here's the truth: you don't have to be fearless to take action, you just have to be willing to act in spite of fear. Most people fail because they wait until they feel ready, until they feel perfect, until every condition is ideal. But life is never perfect, and readiness is an illusion. The real growth, the real transformation, happens when you take steps even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when the outcome is unknown. That is where champions are made. That is where ordinary people become unstoppable forces. Consistency is the key. One massive action is powerful, but it is repeated, disciplined action over time that produces extraordinary results. One breakthrough leads to another, one step forward leads to another, and momentum compounds. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill at first. It's small, barely noticeable, but as it rolls it grows, and soon it is unstoppable. Your habits, your daily decisions, your willingness to act every day, these are the things that determine the trajectory of your life. And let me be very clear, action alone is not enough if it is scattered or aimless. Massive, consistent action must be directed. It must have purpose, it must have clarity. You must know what you want and take bold, decisive steps toward it every single day. Not a little effort, not half-hearted attempts, but full engagement, all in, no holding back, because your energy follows your focus. Your life mirrors the intensity of your commitment. And when you combine clarity with relentless action, you create results that most people only dream about. Now, here's something most people don't understand. Action transforms not just your circumstances, but your psychology. Every time you take a step, every time you push past resistance, you are rewriting the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you are capable of. You begin to see yourself as someone who takes control, who overcomes challenges, who refuses to be defeated. Action breeds confidence. Action breeds courage. Action breeds growth. And the more you act, the more unstoppable you become. You must also embrace the principle of massive action with urgency. Stop postponing, stop rationalizing, stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now, right now. If you wait, your energy dissipates. If you wait, opportunities slip away. If you wait, the life you desire is delayed indefinitely. Action is not just a tool, it is a declaration to the universe that you are ready, that you are committed, and that you will not be denied. And let me remind you, setbacks, failures, and obstacles will come. They are inevitable, but massive, consistent action is your armor against them. When you persist in the face of difficulty, when you push forward despite fear and doubt, you turn challenges into stepping stones and obstacles into opportunities. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who avoided failure. They are the ones who acted, adapted, and refused to quit. So today, make a decision. Decide that you will no longer wait. Decide that you will take bold action every day in every area of your life. Decide that you will commit to a level of effort that will make your past self proud and your future self unstoppable. This is the secret of high achievers' action and more action until results become inevitable. Remember this: momentum is life, consistency is power, massive action is freedom. The person you will become tomorrow is shaped by the steps you take today. Start now. Keep going. Don't stop. Push harder than you think you can. And watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. If you want to create lasting change, you have to understand this simple truth. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your daily rituals. Not by what you plan, not by what you dream, not by what you hope will happen. Your life is shaped by what you consistently do every single day. And here's the kicker: if you are not accountable for your actions, those days, those moments, those choices will slip away, and your potential will never be realized. Accountability is not a punishment. It is the foundation for freedom. It is the fuel that allows you to take control of your life and create results that others only wish for. Most people fail because they try to rely on motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But habits, daily rituals, and consistent accountability create unstoppable momentum. When you commit to being accountable for your actions, you create a structure that guarantees progress even when inspiration fades. It is not enough to want a better life. You have to build it step by step, day by day, through deliberate choices and consistent behaviors. That is where true power lies. Accountability begins with clarity. You have to know exactly what you want and exactly what it will take to achieve it. Without this clarity, action is random, inconsistent, and ineffective. But once you define your goals, you can design the rituals, the routines, and the practices that support them. These are not optional extras. They are non-negotiable commitments to yourself. Whether it is dedicating time to learn, exercise, reflect, plan, or act, these daily rituals compound over time into massive results. And when you hold yourself accountable to them, you build trust with the most important person in your life, you. And let me tell you, this accountability is not about perfection, it's about consistency. You will stumble, you will miss a day, you will face setbacks, but the measure of your success is not whether you fall, it is whether you get back up and continue the process. Every day you recommit to your rituals, every day you take responsibility for your choices, you strengthen your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who does what is necessary, someone who does not make excuses. That identity, more than any single action, is what determines your future. Rituals, when paired with accountability, create a feedback loop of growth. They give you a benchmark to measure yourself against. They make your progress visible. When you review your daily actions, you see where you succeeded, where you can improve, and where you need to take immediate action. This level of self-awareness is transformative. It allows you to course correct before small mistakes become catastrophic failures. It allows you to recognize patterns that serve you and patterns that hold you back. And it allows you to celebrate progress, which fuels motivation and reinforces positive habits. You also have to understand that accountability is not just about yourself. It is about the impact you have on others. When you honor your commitments, when you show up consistently, when you take responsibility for your actions, you inspire others to do the same. Influence is a byproduct of integrity, and integrity is built one daily ritual at a time. Your actions become your statement to the world, and the more disciplined you are, the more powerfully your life communicates what is possible. So here is what I want you to do. Define the rituals that will support the life you want. Make them non-negotiable, track them, review them, adjust them, hold yourself accountable every day, no matter what, and if you struggle, find someone or something to hold you accountable, a mentor, a partner, a community, because accountability is magnified when it is shared. But at the core, it begins with you. You are responsible for your growth, your results, and your life. No excuses, no delays, no deferrals. The truth is, nothing transforms your life faster than taking ownership of your actions and building consistent, powerful daily rituals. They are the invisible architecture of success. They are the small, repeated behaviors that compound into extraordinary outcomes. They are the difference between living a life of excuses and living a life of purpose. And the moment you embrace accountability, you unlock the power to transform not just your days, but your destiny. Your life will never exceed your level of commitment to your daily practices. So decide today that you will be accountable. Decide that you will honor your rituals. Decide that you will invest in yourself relentlessly, every day, without exception. When you do this, nothing can stop you. You will become unstoppable. You will become extraordinary. And your growth will become inevitable. And listen to this: life never gets easier, but you get stronger. Your life doesn't change by chance, it changes by choice. The stronger your focus on improving yourself, the more your world transforms into something extraordinary. So go out there, build remarkable habits, challenge your limits, embrace discomfort, and let your life become your message. You've got this, and your journey to greatness begins right now. Thank you.